Okay, guys, now we are going to understand subject verb agreement. Now, of course, guys, as you know, every night at 9:30 p.m., we go live, we try to give you concepts, but then please understand that I am not going to give you the complete concept. None of the faculty will. But yes, a clear understanding, an idea that how we teach and how you should study, focus on the concept, that's what we're going to do. Now, guys, in not just in CET examination, for that matter, in any examination, whether it's CET, CMAT, whatever examination, subject verb agreement is the most asked question in terms of spot the error, or you can say sentence correction. So that's what we are going to focus here. Okay, so let's get started. Now, guys, subject verb agreement. Now, before we understand subject verb agreement, we need to understand what is a subject and what is the verb. Let's understand that. Subject is nothing but someone who does the action or doer of the action. Verb, of course, we know it has a huge range of or variety of definition, like someone who does the action and then state of being and stuff like that. So first, before we understand the agreement, like how they agree to each other, we must understand what is the meaning of subject and what is the meaning of verb. Okay. Now, subject, as you can see, is nothing but doer of the action. Object is nothing but recipient of the action. Okay, can you check that? I hope you guys can see that here. One second. Subject is nothing but someone who does the action, and object is someone who received the action. Now, singular subject takes the singular verb. Now, this is the definition of subject verb agreement. If there is someone who is doing the action, but that someone is singular, or when singular subject as we know is someone who does the action is mentioned here. So when the doer of action is singular, the verb is singular. When the doer of the action is plural, the verb is also plural. Okay. Now, what is a verb? A verb that denotes the action or state of being. What is state of being? Is, are, was, were, has, have. So these are the verbs. Now, guys, usually people ask me this question, sir. We understand that singular subject, someone who does the action is singular. Object is someone who does the action is a subject. Someone who receives the action is an object. So that's the way. But then how the verb is singular or plural? It's quite simple, guys. Someone who does the action is, of course, as you can see here, is the subject, receive the action. But the verb is singular or plural depending upon the doer of the action. For example, if I'll say, Ashish is teaching, okay? If I say Ashish is teaching, Ashish is singular and teaching is the verb. Now, is nothing but state of being verb. Why I'm using is because Ashish is singular. How the verb can be singular and plural, I'll come to that. But first, let me give you some more explanation on it. Another example, if I'll say, they are teaching, okay? Now, if I say they is nothing but someone who is not singular, okay? It's plural. It's a plural pronoun, they. So I'm using are. So the base form of the verb is always singular, but when you add s to it, I'm sorry, the base form of the verb is always plural, but when you add s to it, it becomes singular. For example, if you say do, does, eat, eats. Now, do is plural, does is singular, eats is singular, eat is plural. So the base form of the verb is automatically plural. Now, if you can check S here, is, was, has, these are the singular form of the verbs. Let's understand the questions, guys. But before that, let's understand a few more examples or the basic understanding of subject verb agreement. Two subjects joined by the conjunctions either or, neither nor, and not only but also, like either or, neither or, not only but also. The verb is considered depending upon the closest subject. Okay. Either you or I am going to attend the function. Either Stella or you are going to attend the session. Now, why I've taken this example, guys, please understand. Let me use the white screen here. I and you, these are two pronouns. They never use S in their verb form. Have you ever heard or said to someone, I loves you? No, never. What you say, I love you, or you say, you are smart. Now, of course, we are talking about one person, I and you, but still I am using love, are. Now, I hope you remember the earlier definition that whenever S is added, it is singular. So love is, of course, can be a noun. It can be a verb also, how it is used in the sentence. So when you add S to it, it becomes singular form. What is it? Loves. But then what we say, I love you. Now, why we say I love you? Because I and you never take S in the verb form. Only in one condition, when you're talking about the past tense with I. For example, I was there. Now, the reason why I have taken these examples so that not only you understand either or, neither nor concept, but also I get the opportunity to explain you about I and you. Now, what is either or? Either this person or that person. For example, if I say, whenever you're using either or, which subject you're going to consider for the verb form. But when both are singular, it's okay, singular. But both are plural, it's plural. But what if one is singular and another is plural? Let me give you an example. If I say either she or they going, now what is going to be coming here? Are or is? Now she is singular, they is plural. Now either or means either this person is going to do the action or the next person or the next subject. They is plural, she is singular. So the rule says that whenever you are using conjunctions like either or, neither nor, you need to go with the subject that is closest to the verb. That is closest to the verb. Now here, they is closest to the verb, so I'm going to write are. Let me give you another example. If I'll say neither she or nor, no, sorry. Let me change the pattern, okay? Neither they nor she is going. Now here, I'm going to put is. Why? Because she is singular and she is closest to the verb. So whenever this kind of situation is there, either or, neither nor, not only, but also only if, when you are using conjunctions in a pair, okay, it is also known as coordinate conjunction. Now guys, grammar is huge. I cannot teach you grammar completely in just one session. Of course, this is just for you guys to get the idea that what is subject verb agreement, and of course few concepts which are usually asked in the examination and students get confused with. So that's what I'm trying to explain here. If you want, you can watch this video once again. And one more thing, guys, at Vision MBA, I have made a separate video of subject verb agreement. You are most welcome to check that under the channel, and their complete concept of subject verb agreement is explained. Now, what is additive phrases? Phrases, okay, phrases is one thing, but let's not talk about phrases, but take these things as example together with, as well as, along with, in addition to. Whenever you use these kind of things and you join sentences or two subjects, you will consider the verb form of the first subject. For example, when these are used, the verb is considered on the first subject of the sentence. Joseph, along with his children, has left. Now, once again, see, Joseph, along with his children. Now, people might say, okay, sir, I will use have. Now, remember, guys, has is singular. Has is singular and have is plural. Now it's quite easy for you guys to judge. Okay, let me just simply say Joseph, along with his children, have left for the States, but that's wrong. Why I'm using has here? Why I'm not using have? Because the first subject, if you can see, the first subject, Joseph, is singular. Let's say if this would have been this way, let me change the subjects. Children along with Joseph. Now, children along with Joseph. Now, the first subject of the sentence is plural. So, has is not going to be there. Then we are going to use have. Once again, guys, whenever these conjunctions are used. What is the conjunction? A word that joins two words or two sentences together with, as well as, along with, in addition to. Whenever these words are used, you need to go with the subject that is used first. The verb should be based on the first subject. The first subject is singular, so the verb is also singular. If the first subject is plural, the verb should also be plural. Let's go on to the next stuff. Now, guys, and is something that is always quite confusing. People get confused by this thing that two subjects joined by and. This is usually used to make two subjects. However, if two subjects are joined by the conjunction and, but they show one idea or do one action, then it will be considered as a singular verb form in the sentence. For example, John and Mary are planning a party. The poet and scholar is dead. Now, you must be thinking that why I'm using this example, so that, and why I've made this slide, so that I can explain you many things in this. I will try to explain as much as I can. Subject verb agreement is a huge concept, and do not expect yourself to know this thing in a jiffy or just in one session. Please do not have unrealistic expectations from me and from anyone for that matter, and from yourself also, to understand the concept in just one go. But then understand, guys, and basically joins two subjects. I and you are doing this. Are. Why? Because there are two people doing the action. Got it? But then it is quite complicated. It's not just like that. Whenever two subjects are joined with the conjunction and, but they are doing one action together, or maybe they are referring to one thing, or maybe they bring same idea to the mind, you're going to use singular verb form. Let's not get confused by that. Let's just take two examples here. John and Mary are planning a party. Now, John and Mary, there are two subjects doing the action of planning the party, so I have used are. But then, guys, check the second example, the poet and scholar. Now, poet and scholar, these are two adjectives or two qualities. These two qualities could be of one person, or these two qualities could be of two people, one person, and this is the second person. How you will decide that both these qualities are of one person or of two people? So you're going to focus on one thing, how many times the is used. Now here the is used once, so the poet and scholar. So that means these two qualities are of one person. But let's say if I would have used the here, and once again, I would have used the poet and the scholar, then the poet and the scholar, then it should have been, or it would have been are. The poet and the scholar, then I'm going to use are. I hope things are making sense to you guys. And in examination, questions like these are going to come. Moving on. I want you to check this chart, what it means. Take a moment and focus on this chart. Yes, Nehu, when these phrases will be used, they are going to go with the first subject. Absolutely right. Now let's talk about indefinite pronoun. Now, of course, I'm not going to explain you in depth about what is a pronoun and what is an indefinite pronoun. If I keep on doing this YouTube session will be of hours and hours, and I don't want to do that. My main intention is to just create curiosity in your mind, or to feed your curiosity, or to make you understand that how important concepts are. People usually talk, you do these many questions, you do that, you're going to get that. This is easy, you do that, you get that. But nobody tells you how to do that. And trust me, guys, nothing is easy. If something is so good to be true, it's not true. Now, what you mean by indefinite? Indefinite means something that is not defined, that is not sure. Okay. So now focus on this chart. Someone, everyone, no one, anyone. Somebody, everybody, nobody, anybody. Something, everything, nothing, and anything. Each and every. Now, whenever you are going to use these pronouns, the verb form will always be singular. For example, something is missing, someone is there, everyone is present, nothing is impossible, nobody is there, Each and every person has the right to vote. Each and every child has the right to education. So I hope you guys are getting my point. Again, I'm drawing this chart for you guys to understand someone, everyone, no one, anyone, somebody, everybody, nobody, anybody, something, everything, nothing, anything, each and every. Okay. Now, let's move ahead. Common knowledge to anyone. Now, these are few examples, and these examples are not easy. So I want you guys to check that. And I'm going to give you a trick. Remember, on the thumbnail or the thumbnail which I'm going to post, or you can say this first slide was like, I'm going to give you a trick. The trick is simple. Common knowledge to anyone. I'll explain you that trick now. Many people use that. Of course, people who know about it or people who have learned from me. Common knowledge to anyone who studies science, the earth dash on its own axis once every 24 hours. Now, what is going to be coming there in that blank? Are we going to use revolve there or revolves there? Now, once again, revolve is the plural form of the verb. VP, V is verb, P is plural, and revolves is nothing but the singular form of the verb. So ask yourself what is going to be the answer. Revolve is nothing but, once again, plural form of the verb, and this is the singular form of the verb. Now, the trick is simple. Always ask this question to yourself: who or what? The trick is very easy. Who or what? Whenever you're going to ask this question to yourself, who and what, you're going to get the answer based on the sentence. I'll explain you and I'll teach you how to do that. The answer of these two questions, who and what, will give you the subject. Once you got to know what the subject is in the sentence, based on whether it's singular or plural, you can decide the verb form. Once again, you need to ask these two questions, who and what. Let me tell you how exactly it works. Common knowledge to anyone who studies science, the earth dash on its own axis once every 24 hours. Now here people will be confused. Okay, study science, earth, what needs to be done? Ask yourself who or what. Who revolves, okay, on its own axis once every 24 hours? You ask this question. Who revolves? Now here what is mentioned, the earth revolves, right? So based on the question or based on the sentence, you are going to frame this question. Who revolves? I'm going to give you more examples. Do not worry about it. And this thing will be there in your head. Who revolves? The answer is earth. Now earth is singular. So the answer is going to be revolves. Once again, guys, you just need to ask who and what. Do not get confused by the sentence formation. Let me give you another example, other more examples. Unlike similar kinds of pets such as neon, tetras, the guppy, dash very little food and attention to survive. Now, who need little food and attention to survive? Remember those two questions. Once again, I write it on the top. Who and what, depending upon the sentence. Unlike similar kinds of pets such as neon, tetras, the guppy, dash very little food and attention to survive. Who need little attention and food to survive? Guppy. Do not worry about, do not get confused by pets and tetras. It's the guppy. Now, guppy is nothing but the singular form of the fish. Okay. So we are going to say needs. Needs is singular. Of all the grammar points I have studied in my 7 years of English, the most recent units dash me the most for a variety of reasons. Now, what confuses you for the most variety of reason? The most recent unit, what confuses you recently, the most, like what troubles you the most? The most recent unit. So it's going to be confuses because it's the singular. Again, you just ask who and what. Never dash the weather, never dash the weather been so bad in the months of the June and July. Now, people are going to get confused by June and July, and they're going to ask, okay, months are there. So whether it's going to be has and have. Simply ask this one question to yourself, who and what, depending upon the sentence. Now read the sentence. This sentence we are talking about. Never dash the weather been so bad in the months of June and July. Now, what has been bad? What has been bad? Weather. Whether is the subject. Whether is singular. So again, it's going to be has. So has is the answer here. Confuses is the answer in the second one. Needs is the answer of the first one. Neither the students nor the teacher. Now remember that concept which I have explained you. Whenever these kind of conjunctions are there, neither nor, either or, you need to go with the subject that is closest to the verb. Now students is plural, definitely more than one student. Teacher is singular. Because teacher is closest to the verb, I am going to use cares. Neither the students nor the teacher cares about what happens on the trip. I hope you guys are getting it. Let's go on to the last question of this slide. Despite the bad weather we have had in the past days, there dash no doubt that the tournament will go on. Now, what will go on? Remember that question, who and what? You will always ask this question after reading the sentence to understand what the subject is. Whenever you're going to ask these two questions after reading the sentence, you're going to get the answer, and that answer is the subject. And the tournament is doing the action of going on. So tournament is singular. Again, is going to be there. Despite the bad weather we have had the past days, there is no doubt that the tournament will go on. What is going to go on? Tournament. So again, is going to be there. Let's solve few more questions so that the concept is fixed there in your head. Always focus on these two questions, guys. What and who? Some of this book dash not very interesting. Now, what is not very interesting? Some of this book. Some. Some of the book is not very interesting. Some of this book is not very interesting. Okay. Some of the books on the table dash to me. What belongs to me? What belongs to me? Books. Their book was singular, books. The book belong. Here, belong is going to be there. Belong is plural, guys. Remember, whenever you add s, it becomes singular. In subjects or in objects, when you add s, it becomes plural. But in verb, when you add s, it becomes vice versa. It becomes singular. Because books is a plural thing, I'm going to write belong. Swimming in heated pool. Dash very common in this part of the country in the winter. Now is or are. Now here, guys, remember gerund. Gerund, what do you mean by gerund? Okay, let me use white screen here. Gerund is a word that is made by joining ing to a verb. Okay, so in short, what is a gerund? Verb plus ing. Gerund is nothing but verb plus ing. For example, if I'll say talk plus ing, what is going to be talking? Talking, singing, dancing. Guys, why I'm talking about gerund? Gerund always takes the singular verb form. Now, guys, people who are watching this video now, okay, for to them, and people who are watching this video from the beginning, remember this thing that subject verb agreement is going to be asked the most in any comparative examination wherever there is a question based or grammar is asked. Why? Because subject verb agreement concept got so many questions to it. Okay, so many questions involved to it. So without the new taxes, houses built before World War II has lower cost than more modern homes do. Is going to be has or have. No, I'm sorry. We were on the third question. My bad. Swimming in heated pools. Now swimming is there. Now what is common? What is common in this part of the country in the winter? Swimming. Swimming is a gerund. It's going to be is. So is going to be here. That was belong and is. Okay. Without the new taxes, houses built before World War II dash lower cost than more modern homes do. Now, what cost lower than modern homes do? Houses, plural, have. So remember this thing, guys. Always ask what and who, and you're going to get the answer right. You do not need to memorize the rules of grammar. You need to understand the expression expressed by the sentence. Okay, so these live videos are nothing but a genuine attempt from us from Vision MBA for you guys to understand the concept, and I hope things are making sense. Tomorrow again we are going to be going live at 9:30 p.m. with some another concept. I hope today's concept of subject verb agreement gave you a clarity. If you have any doubts, any concern, you guys are most welcome to get in touch with us. I'm going to share my contact details in the description box, and there is a Telegram link we're going to share in the description box for free workshops. Free workshops for the upcoming CET examination. We're going to provide you 6 workshops, 2 workshops of each topic, 2 of verbal, 2 of quant, and 2 of logic. So based on that, if you're interested, please join the Telegram group and we'll be giving you free workshops. Thank you guys. That's it. Stay blessed. Good night.